Microsoft has things trending in the right direction, kind of going uphill in some of these instances, but it's nice to see that announcements like this get made, and it just goes to show that, hey, they are making some headway, and that's definitely something that I think we can all kind of agree on and look at and go, hey, you know what? That's cool. That's nice to see. So Microsoft has long been the runner-up in the video game industry, unfortunately, and we've seen them take it on the chin time and time again, and it sucks. Let's just be real. It's not a fun thing to see. Obviously, Microsoft has been fighting hard. You've got a lot of misinformation out there. I'm not saying it's all misinformation, but one of the things is that we're seeing a lot of these types of announcements come from, and Microsoft is like oftentimes looked at as like this big bad wolf or whatever, and I never really understood that. Microsoft as a whole and Xbox as a whole hasn't put anybody out of business, whereas Sony and PlayStation directly tries to put the competition out of business because they feel like they should be the only ones, and I've always found that to be completely asinine, and I hated that sort of approach that they were doing and trying to utilize, again, because I feel like proper competition breeds better business for all of us, right? We're all fans. We're all kind of, wanting gaming to succeed. You need competition for that, right? Like, that's just a no-brainer. You honestly do need something to sort of be there so that these companies can compete for our money. So, it's just one of those things. And I love seeing that, I would especially like to see what everybody thinks about this. It sounds intriguing. What's up, everybody? I'm the Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you very much for checking it out. Please slap that like button. I would appreciate that as well. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos that I do, and hopefully that will be something that you can contribute to. I put a lot of work into the videos and would love to see, something for all that work. So if you could get me, slap that like button, I would appreciate that. Again, what Microsoft is doing is pretty interesting, and now they've cleared yet another hurdle as the acquisition of Activision Blizzard has been cleared in yet another country. South African regulator says the deal is unlikely to result in substantial lessening of competition. In a statement released, the competition watchdog said it isn't concerned about the possibility of Microsoft and Activision making Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox should the deal go through. And I quote, "The Commission found that the proposed transaction is unlikely to result in significant foreclosure concerns as the parties do not have the ability and incentive to foreclose competing game distributors, particularly Sony PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. Furthermore, the merging parties have made undertakings to keep and continue supplying Call of Duty games to other console manufacturers. Therefore, this commission has found that the proposed acquisition and transaction is unlikely to result in substantial prevention or lessening of competition in any relevant markets. The commission further found that the proposed transaction does not result or raise any substantial public interest or concerns as well." So this is something that was big because the more, let's be honest, it's going to be sort of this snowball effect. The more of these that pass it, the better it's going to be for Microsoft. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see, but clearly the big ones, I think, we're coming up within the next 7 days. So the next week, we're going to find out what's going on with the CMA, because they obviously are, one of the biggies, and they kind of reverse their position or whatever. But it really is going to come down to what Microsoft is going to be able to deliver. Should Microsoft be able to go out there and kind of do the things that they want to do? I think that is the key point of contention here. You have to understand, there's a lot of people out there who pretend like, Microsoft doesn't know what they're doing, and you see the faux concern for stuff like, I'm worried about Game Pass, is it sustainable? And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, not only is it sustainable, but Sony's going to help them be able to sustain that, because these games are going to be all on PlayStation. All these gamers that are playing Diablo 4 and all these gamers that play Call of Duty and anything else that Microsoft is going to own, that's helping Microsoft, that's helping Xbox. Like, I know that is something that people absolutely hate when you bring that up. Boy, does the hate fly. The fur definitely flies too. It's just one of those things where I just kind of look at it and I go, they really hate it when you say that. If you ever want to rile up you know, a Sony fanboy, just bring that up. You know, they're going to be contributing to the monthly active users on Xbox. You know, Xbox has already more monthly active users than I believe Nintendo and certainly Sony. So the interesting thing here is, once they have access to all the monthly active users that Activision has, it fluctuates obviously. So you add that, they usually have between 350 million and, you know, close to 500 million. So you add that to Microsoft's, boom, 500 million people. That's a crazy amount of people playing in the Xbox ecosystem. So anyway, Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard has also been approved in Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Serbia, Chile, and Japan. You know, again, so they are 9-0 with this. So that's something that's pretty incredible. Now, the UK regulators, the Competition and Markets Authority, or the CMA, is due to rule by the deal on April 26th, while the European Commission will publish its verdict by May 22nd. The CMA recently said it no longer believes that the deal would significantly reduce competition in the console gaming space, although it still has concerns about the acquisition impact on cloud gaming. Although Microsoft has signed multiple 10-year deals with cloud gaming companies to try and bring, you know, more games to cloud gaming. I think cloud gaming sucks. I think it's never going to take off. I think that it's a fool's game, right? Because the difference is, which again, I'll use this as a key sort of advantage, right? I'm kind of old school in the stuff that I like, right? Like I have I use my Xbox Series X. I have a 4K TV. I watch, and I mentioned that I had watched, because my internet was out, I had watched just a regular DVD on it, and it looked amazing compared to the streaming stuff that I use. I've tried to stream video games, and it looks like a pixel flip book, and and that's even with improved internet that I have right now. Another thing is, a lot of people have satellite radio. Well, I don't. I have the ability to hook my my Spotify up to my radio, but when that was having issues the other day, I broke out some CDs, and I'm just like, man, that's clear. Right? Like, you don't realize how compressed like stuff is that's on Spotify, or how compressed they have to make these games or movies or shows. It looks terrible in comparison to actual physical media. So I think that the fact that you have to do a one-to-one control of these games is exactly why that stuff is never taking off. Some people might go, yeah, I can play it, blah, 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 I love it. I don't believe those people live in what I like to call the real world, because clearly, these developers are designing these games to be more and more impressive, to run at, high frame rates and with ray tracing and, 4K resolution and all this stuff. And, clearly you're not really achieving any of that through streaming a game on a little phone. So, yeah, very interesting indeed. With that being said, let me know what you think. Rack 'em, fact 'em, crap 'em. Crap Gamer out.